Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this week's episode. Today we have an exciting video in store for you guys. But first things first, I gotta give a little shout out to Fully for sending me this side desk. My standing desk was constantly cluttered with all sorts of junk and it was just so hard to focus and work. So I put an email to Fully and said, hey, could you guys send me this side desk? I thought this would be the perfect little desk for me to have my gear and as well do shoots. They even sent me these little wheels to put on bottom of this side desk so that I could just wheel it around the office so I can put it in front of the backdrop that I'm filming, for example, and then just put it beside my desk when I'm done. But this has been amazing. I'll make sure to link it below if you guys are interested in Fully's standing desk or side desk. But this week, we are going to be talking about what's in my camera bag 2020. I did this video last year, and if you haven't seen it yet, I'll make sure to link it below as well, and you can check that out so you can see the difference between my 2019 gear and the 2020 gear. And I think the theme for this year has been minimalizing all unnecessary gear. Last year, I did a lot of traveling. I did about 1 to 2 trips a month, meaning I did anywhere from 12 to 24 trips. And you can imagine, that's a lot of time in the airport with a carry-on backpack on your back. And I was noticing that my back was just killing me. I was not enjoying traveling as much because of all the gear. And secondly, I was always so stressed out whether or not I'd even be able to get my carry-on backpack onto the plane because literally it was sometimes weighing anywhere from 15 to 20 kilograms. And if you guys have traveled before, most often it's only in between 7 to 10 kilograms. So in 2020, I decided that the new rule for what's in my camera bag is that if I don't use it on a weekly basis, adios, get out of there. If I need specific pieces of gear, then I'll throw it into the bag for that specific video or the day, but once I'm done, I'm just gonna chuck it out. But the gear that I have right now here on this table is the gear that I am using on a weekly basis when it comes to making my YouTube videos, when it comes to shooting photos, and as well when it comes to shooting weddings. So first things first, let's start with camera. I am actually still using the Canon EOS R, and I just haven't found another camera to replace the EOS R. For me, having the EOS R, it's the perfect camera for both photo and video. The autofocus is very quick, very accurate. I love having the mirrorless body so I can look straight into the viewfinder and see exactly how my photos are gonna look like depth of field wise and also the colors and white balance. Also for video, I love having the flip LCD screen. It's so important when you're vlogging that you can see exactly what you're filming. And as well, just the autofocus when I'm vlogging. You wanna have an autofocus that's very reliable. You know it's gonna be in focus when you're filming. And yeah, everything that I need in this camera for photo and video is there. And I've done a few videos already talking about the EOS R, and if you haven't seen them before, I'll make sure to link them as well up there so you can check it out. But there's a lot of reasons why you should be investing in the Canon EOS R. I am excited if there will be a Canon EOS R Mark II or what's the next step, but for now, I'm enjoying using the Canon EOS R. Now for lenses this year, I have done a little bit of an update. Last year, I was using the Canon 16-35, the Sigma 35, and then the Canon 7200. Now I'm using the Canon 15-35 RF lens. This has image stabilization as well at 15 millimeters. It's even wider than the 16-35. And because it has image stabilization, I don't always have to use the digital image stabilizer on the EOS R, meaning that it's not getting cropped in. So I actually am getting the full 15 millimeters when I'm filming. I've really loved the build of this lens. It's been a great go-to lens. I'm pretty much using this all the time for all my vlogging, all my YouTube videos. It's been filmed on the 15-35. Great lens to invest in. Second lens that I'm filming with and shooting a lot with is the Canon 85 1.2 RF lens. Now, I do understand, I do admit that this lens is a little bit of a beast, which is a little bit of a downer, but the reason why I love using this lens is that I have the 15-35 for all my wide shots, all my vlogging shots, but then I have the 85mm for shooting portraits. You get a really nice sharp photo with really crazy bokeh. And then as well, if I do want some nice, really detailed shots for videos, I can just pick off a few detailed shots close up with the 85 1.2 RF lens. So these are new lenses to the camera bag. I didn't have these last year. I got them early this year, so I've been really enjoying them in my camera bag. Now for drones, I'm still using the Mavic Air. Everybody who's doing YouTube or creating travel films or just a filmmaker in general always gotta have your drone. There's something about just throwing a few drone shots into every single video to get that establishing shot, and it just makes it look super epic. And the reason why I'm not using some of the higher end DJI drones is that I love the size of the Mavic Air. Like I said earlier, I'm doing a lot of traveling, so it's really important for me that I'm really lightweight. And just how easy and how quick it is that you can just unfold the Mavic Air, calibrate it quickly up in the air, shoot a few shots, and you're there. You know, having this in my camera bag, it just takes only a little bit of space and it's not heavy at all, so I've really enjoyed the Mavic Air. And quality wise, I think it's perfect for YouTube. I don't need more epic quality. I don't need higher resolution when I'm filming with a drone. The Mavic Air has been perfect for me. Now, for stabilizers, I'm mostly using the Joby Gorilla Pod. Yes, still love-hate relationship with this guy. It is super handy when I'm vlogging and if I want to put the camera down, and just having the legs that you can adjust the heights up and down, or I can even attach it to a tree or to a ledge or to my car or anywhere I want to put it. It's really good for getting those creative shots, but it is always a little bit of a love-hate with these legs, especially in the winter. They just get really loose and sometimes they get really stiff, and it's just like, yeah. We can't live without them as a vlogger, as a YouTuber, but at the same time, we hate these little guys. But still in my camera bag, using the Joby Gorilla Pod. As for filters, I'm no longer using the drop-in ND filter for the EOS R. I was using that last year because I was still using a lot of EF lenses, and I thought, what better way to have the drop-in ND filter so I can use the EF lenses and I have a built-in variable ND filter. It was a great idea, but in practice, it just didn't work because a lot of times I'd be switching back and forth from photo and video, and I wouldn't want the ND filter for photos, and then I have to take it out. And I noticed that if you don't replace it with another filter, the focus doesn't work right. So it was a great idea with a drop-in ND filter, but in the end, I just didn't use it. So I have actually replaced the drop-in ND filter with Peter's variable ND filter from Polar Pro. I really love this. I also did a video earlier about this. I'll make sure to link that up there so you can check it out. But the reason why I love this ND filter is the build quality is really great. You don't get any of the X's in the middle sometimes when you overcompensate with the ND filter. And I love having these little dials on the side where you see the numbers so you can exactly see how many stops of light you're dropping your footage by. So if you don't have a variable ND filter, I would highly suggest getting Peter's Polar Pro variable ND filter. Really great. If you don't understand why you need a variable ND filter, quickly explain. You want to always double your shutter. So if you're filming, for example, 24 frames, your shutter should be at 50, or if you're filming at 60 frames per second, your shutter be at 120. And the reason why I want to do that is so you get nice cinematic motion blur. But obviously, if it's really bright outside, it's hard to be able to have the shutter that low because it's going to be too bright. So that's where variable ND filters come into play. Really simple to use, really helpful when you want to adjust your exposure on your shots instead of just changing your shutter speed all the time. For sound, I'm still using the Rode Video Mic Pro Plus, and it's actually on the camera right there, so that's why you don't see it on the table right now. But it's a go-to video mic, really great sound, really reliable. I love the fact that whenever you turn on the camera, the mic turns on as well, and when you turn off the camera, the mic turns off. But that's definitely my go-to. Make sure you have one of those dead cats on it, because if you don't, the wind is gonna get to it and it's gonna ruin your sound. So having that little ugly rat on top of the microphone is super necessary. And lastly, probably one of the most simple things I've added to my camera bag, but probably been the most beneficial, has been the Sandisk Ssd Drive. I honestly don't know how in the world I've been editing with these slow drives that are so finicky and that can so easily break for so long. I was literally on planes using one of these drives with a spinning disc, and man, there's so many times I could have easily just dropped it and broke it. But now having this little Sandisk Pro disk drive, I can just take it anywhere with me. It just hangs off my laptop. I can be editing on the go. Really great. I would highly suggest for all of you guys to get one of these. It will change your editing process, your travel process when it comes to photography and filmmaking. So as you can see, sometimes less is more. I think that's been the theme for 2020. I think so often as photographers and filmmakers, we can get caught up in gear and think that the more gear, the better. But I found having a more simplified setup has not only made the filmmaking and photography experience a lot more enjoyable, but as well, I've been able to just get a whole lot better content created with less. So this year, make sure you go through your gear and just choose everything that you actually use on a weekly basis. And I can guarantee you are gonna enjoy a whole lot more the whole photography and filmmaking process. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed seeing what's in my camera bag 2020. As well, if you haven't heard yet, I just released my very own Lightroom mobile presets. These are presets that you can edit with right on your very own iPhone, so you don't have to always transfer your photos to your laptop and edit them there, or if you don't even own a DSLR or Lightroom on desktop, you can just simply take photos of your iPhone and edit the photos right there in Lightroom mobile app. So I'll make sure to link them below, the Lightroom mobile presets. Check them out. Really appreciate your guys' support. Every single week, I want to highlight an up-and-coming YouTube content creator because I know the feeling when you're starting out that you create great content, but then if people aren't seeing the video, it gets you bummed. Of course, you want people to see the content that you're creating on YouTube, and that's why I want to give you guys a shout out to just promote up-and-coming YouTube content creators. Now, if you want to be part of the weekly shout out moment, all you got to do is comment below and be a part of this community, and that way you can be a part of the contest. All right, so this week's shout out moment goes to Tyler Edwards. Tyler has an amazing YouTube channel with some cinematic footage and really crazy gear. So if you are really into gear and learning about gear, for example, the C200, check out his channel as well. He's got a lot of nice color grading tutorials. So if you're interested in that, make sure you go check out his channel. I'll make sure to link it below and at the end of the video, just so you can find Tyler's channel easily. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you click here. It's great to have you a part of the community. And if you haven't seen last week's video, click here. All right, guys, have a fantastic week.